Hi, first graders. This week in Writing Workshop, we've started our Writing for a Change section of our opinion writing unit. And in this part of the unit, we are thinking about rules that we either want to keep or that we want to change. And we know that we can write signs and letters to help change rules or to help keep rules. Let's look over here to see how we can write for a change. Step one is to think of a rule that's important to you. And yesterday we thought of a lot of rules. We thought about rules at home, at school, or outside the home. After you think about a rule that's important to you, step two is to say your opinion. You could say, it is important to, or you should, or you shouldn't. We've been using should and shouldn't in our opinion writing before, but this word important is new to our Writing for a Change unit. You might say, it is important that you take off shoes when you come into the house, or it is important that you listen while other people are talking. Important is an important word when you're writing to make a change. Step three is to give reasons. We've done this before. You could say, this is important because, there's that word important again, or you should do this because, or you shouldn't do this because. We know that because is a word that we use when we give reasons, and that we're trying to give three reasons to support our opinion. Okay, so it's time for me to start writing a letter about a rule that's important to me. So I'm trying to think, what were some of those rules that were important to me? I know I thought of a lot of them yesterday. Let me go back to my seesaw because I know on seesaw, I wrote down a bunch of rules that were important to me. Okay, here they are. I had rules that were important to me in the home, at school, and outside the home. I think that today I'm going to write about, this is so important to me. Outside the home, it's really important when you're on the train to keep your voice down and be quiet. I feel really strongly about this because sometimes I take the train and people are so loud. I always seem to end up next to the people who are talking on their cell phones on the train. I don't know if that happens to you. Okay, so that's what I want to write about today. I need to change the way people behave and act on the train. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to write my letter. I know that I need to give my opinion and I need to give my reasons about why people should be quiet on the train. So I have over here some important words that I need to remember when I'm writing for change. I want to remember the word important, and I want to remember that word should. So I'm going to keep these over here near me. I'm going to start my letter by saying dear. Dear, well, I don't really know everybody's names on the train car. So I'm just going to say, dear passengers on the train. And now I'm going to say my opinion. What do I want the people who are on the train with me to do? Well, I want them to keep their voices down. So I'm going to say, it is important to keep your voices down. It is important to keep your voices quiet on the train. And now I need to tell them, well, why should they keep their voices down on the train? What are the reasons? Well, let me think. I know one reason is because sometimes I like to read or I like to do work on the train, and it's hard when people are talking. So I'm going to say, it is important to keep your voice quiet because people are trying to read or work. right? It's also important. I can remember all of those linking words we used before. It's also important because sometimes people sleep on the train because people like to sleep. Okay. Let me think of a third reason why it's important to keep quiet on the train. Well, another reason is because sometimes you might just not want to hear what people are talking about. So I said it's also important. Now I'm going to say, I'm going to cross that out. I'm going to say another reason to keep quiet is because some people like peace and quiet. Like peace and quiet. And now I'm going to say, well, if they're being quiet for me, right, I should say thank you, right? I should say thank you for listening. Love, Katie. Do you see what I did, first graders? I gave my opinion that people should keep their voices down on the train, and I used that word important, that word we talked about before, okay? And then I gave reasons why people should be quiet on the train. So first graders, today when you go off, your job is to think, what's a rule that's important to you? If you don't remember any of the rules you brainstormed yesterday, you can go back and check on Seesaw. And then get writing. Off you go.